Hey everyone, and welcome to today's explainer. Look, if you're a focused learner who is just completely tired of the fluff, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're bypassing all that typical get-rich-quick noise that completely clutters up the internet. Instead, we're going to break down a concrete, mathematically proven blueprint to true financial freedom. This isn't about luck, It's about following a solid architectural plan. So grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's actually start building your wealth.
But first, let me ask you something. Do you ever feel like you're running a race that just has no finish line? Picture it. You wake up early, you fight the morning traffic, work a completely exhausting 9-to-5 job, and you're just desperately waiting for the end of the month to get that paycheck. And then, almost instantly, you watch that entire paycheck literally vanish into bills, rent, and debt.
We call this endless, exhausting cycle the rat race. And here's the really unfortunate truth. While our schools and universities were busy teaching us geometry and advanced calculus, they utterly failed to teach us how money actually works in the real world. We were left completely unequipped, which is exactly what traps so many of us in this cycle. But you're here because you want out. You want your money to start working for you. Okay, let's dive into this. We've structured this explainer around a 4-part architectural blueprint. 1. Escaping the rat race. 2. Pouring the financial foundation. 3. The engine of wealth. And 4. Playing the infinite game. Basically, this is how we dig out of the matrix and build a towering financial skyscraper.
All right, part 1, escaping the rat race, specifically unlearning those toxic habits.
You see, before you can build a massive skyscraper, you've got to clear the ground of any toxic habits. And there's a really dangerous trap here. It's the difference between looking rich and being rich. Looking rich is when you get a bonus and instantly blow it on a new phone, a fancy car, or crazy expensive dinners just to impress people you probably don't even really like. But being rich? Listen, if your bank account hits 0 at the end of every month, you are not wealthy, even if you're making 6 figures. To build real wealth, you have to completely pivot your mindset from being a consumer to becoming an investor.
Moving right along to part 2, pouring the financial foundation, which is all about defending your money.
To properly defend your money, you've got to track it, just like a business tracks its revenue. The framework we use here is the non-negotiable 50-30-20 budget. It's super simple. 50% of your income goes to your absolute needs, rent, groceries, just keeping the lights on. 30% goes to your wants, the fun stuff that upgrades your quality of life. But that final slice, at least 20% absolutely must be paid to your future self. That's your savings and investments. And hey, if you can't hit 20% right now, start at 5%. But you have to establish that discipline immediately.
Step 3 in pouring our foundation is recognizing that honestly, not all debt is created equal. You've got bad debt, which acts like a massive anchor. This is consumer debt that pulls money straight out of your pocket. Think financing a luxury watch on a credit card, or buying a brand new car that loses value the second you drive it off the lot. On the flip side, good debt is leverage. It actually puts money back into your pocket, like getting a low-interest loan to buy cash-flowing real estate. Bad debt, that has to be eradicated permanently.
So, if you are carrying bad debt, you need an aggressive exit strategy right now. You basically have 2 highly effective options. The snowball method has you paying off your smallest debts first. This gives you those quick, psychological wins that build serious momentum. The alternative is the avalanche method. This is where you mathematically prioritize the debt with the highest interest rate first, which saves you the maximum amount of money over time. My advice? Just choose the one that best fits your personal psychology. But making bad debt disappear has to be your absolute priority.
Okay, step 4. This is the final piece of your foundation, building a liquid emergency shield. Look, life is completely unpredictable. Layoffs, medical emergencies, random market downturns, they happen to everyone. To stop these crises from forcing you right back into bad debt, you need a stash of cash covering 3 to 6 months of your bare minimum living expenses, just sitting safely in a high-yield savings account. It is not there to make you massive returns, it's literally there to buy you peace of mind. And once that rock-solid foundation is poured, we are ready to aggressively transition to our offensive strategy.
Part 3, the engine of wealth, building your offense. Have you ever caught yourself wondering, at what exact point can I safely quit my job? Well, the answer isn't some vague, fuzzy feeling. It's a concrete multiplier, 25x. This is the 25x rule. It states that true financial independence is achieved the very moment you have 25 times your annual living expenses securely held in invested assets. So the crucial point here is that financial freedom is literally just a math problem. Let's walk through it together. Step 1, calculate your annual expenses. Let's just say you need $50,000 a year to live comfortably. Step 2, multiply that by 25. Step 3 gives you your freedom number, $1.25 million. If you have that amount invested in a diversified portfolio yielding, say, 8 to 10%, you can use the 4% rule, meaning you can safely withdraw your $50,000 every single year indefinitely without ever depleting your principal balance. No way, right? It's just math.
But how do we actually reach that massive number? We use step 6. I love this historical anchor from Albert Einstein. He said, "Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it, earns it. He who doesn't, pays it." Compound interest is this terrifyingly powerful engine that will do all the heavy lifting for you if you let it.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why time is your greatest asset. Check this out. Investor A starts at age 20, invests just $200 a month for 10 years, and then completely stops. Investor B waits until age 30, and then invests that exact same $200 every single month for 30 whole years. But look at the result. Even though Investor B contributed way more money out of pocket, Investor A still wins massively. Why? Because they gave their money a 10-year head start to compound upon itself. Consistency, capital, and time. When you combine those three, they are absolute magic.
Step 7 to really fuel that compound engine is creating multiple streams of income. Did you know the average millionaire has at least 7 distinct income streams? If your only revenue is your day job, you are literally one bad boss away from financial ruin. You need earned income from your job, sure, but you also need dividend and investment income paying you passively, rental income from cash-flowing assets, and maybe side hustle income from digital products or consulting. Real financial security comes from diversified revenue structures, not from burning yourself out working 7 different jobs.
Which brings us to the top of our skyscraper, Part 4, playing the infinite game, reaching the apex. Reaching the apex requires Step 8, investing in your wealth brain. When you're just starting out, getting a 10% return on a tiny portfolio isn't going to make you rich. Your absolute highest ROI is upgrading your own earning capacity. Learn 2 to 3 high-income, scalable skills every single year, things like AI optimization or advanced sales. Upgrading your skills scales your earning capacity by 10x. Then, Step 9 is protecting that wealth, because making money and keeping money, those are completely different skill sets. You've got to understand tax laws, insurance, and legal shields so your hard-earned wealth doesn't just slowly erode away.
And that brings us to Step 10, the ultimate realization. True wealth isn't just hitting a giant number so you can sit on a beach and be bored for 40 years. Humans need purpose. Financial freedom is really about buying back your ultimate asset, choice. It's having the absolute autonomy to work on what you want, when you want, where you want, and with exactly whom you want, entirely without a financial gun held to your head.
So I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought to chew on today. What will you choose to do with your freedom? Remember, wealth isn't an overnight thing. It's an infinite game of discipline, self-education, and radical patience. But the blueprint is right here in front of you, and the whole shebang starts with taking that very first step today. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer. Stay disciplined and keep building.